Welcome to Snappy's elevator service webinar. I'm going to talk a little bit today about how to reduce paperwork for your inspection business. There's a couple of different ways to do it with Snappy. Relatively easy too, so I'm just going to jump right into it. First thing you want to do is check out our templates. So templates are basically pre-made apps that you can go in and modify small pieces of. So the bulk of the work is already done. All you're really doing is changing the things that you need for your business. So we have a bunch of different ones here. Especially for inspection, we have a lot of different options. So you can see like HVAC inspection here, inspect anything. So we have a bunch of different options, but today we're going to be looking at elevator stuff. So if I type in elevator up here, and this is the home page, by the way. If I type in elevator up there, you'll see that the first option that comes up is elevator inspection. So we're going to click that. And right here, it'll basically give you a rundown of what you can find in the app. If you click here, we even have a little video that you can watch to kind of get a better idea of it. So there's two things you can do here. You can modify yourself, or you can modify for me. And what that means is that we're going, if you modify for me, Snappy is going to take the request, and we're going to do our best to recreate the app that you envisioned. If you want to modify yourself, though, you can also do that using the same editor that our guys would use. So I'm going to go ahead and log in really quick so I can actually click that button. So, and if you haven't made an account with Snappy, it takes a couple seconds and it'll help in the long run. So just go ahead and press modify myself. I'll show you two different ways to do what we're going to do today. But I'm going to start with this just to give you a rundown of what the template would look like if you just wanted to adjust that. So once you click that, it's going to automatically load our app builder. And you can see here we have a couple different options already. Before we get into the inspections, really quick, notifications, all that is push notifications. So say when you're using your phone and you get a notification for an app and it comes up with like a little window here that says, oh, blah, 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 has this ready for you or whatever. That's what notifications are. So they're useful if you're going to try to talk to your team and you need, say, something done by a certain time. You can send a notification to all the members of your team at the same time. So it's a pretty cool feature. It's very widely used, especially with us. But you can find that feature in a lot of apps that you see in the App Store nowadays. Through our system, you can send these notifications too, so there's no limit to how many you can send. Although I probably wouldn't send too many, it's probably going to bother everybody, but it's there. RSS is a little bit more finicky. It's not really necessary, I don't think, but it is useful if you already use RSS. You can just type in your RSS link. What that is basically just like a news organizer for you. So you can read more about RSS on. I'll post a link in the chat for that. But that's basically what RSS is. It just relays information back into like an easy to see format. So if you have like a bunch of different sites you visit, you can like conglomerate all of them into a single thing and then just scroll down it. So we have some random stuff about Trump and New Hampshire and all that stuff. So okay, so moving on, that's the extra features, and these features you can actually add to whatever inspection form you do. It's really easy after you make the inspection. So here's going to be our bread and butter for today, the elevator inspection widget. So you can see right off the bat, I'm actually going to turn on HTML5 here so you can see how this operates when you're on your phone. No, I don't want to share my location. So the way it works is you would click elevator inspection, and this is going to load up a form. And you can see there's a bunch of different options on this form. There's probably a good chance that you don't use all of these though. I'm not very well versed in the elevator inspection business, but I can guess that you're probably not going to use every single one of these fields. So I'm going to show you in a bit how to customize that so that you can adjust it to fit your business. To move on to the next page of these forms, which I don't think is very obvious for people, but if you see on the bottom down here this little bar, it allows you to slide over, and you can see that there's now 3 pages in this form. These fields, when it has a little plus like that, means that you can add a picture to it. So it's like, say you're looking at the top of the elevator, you can go ahead and press this green here and take a picture of that if there's something wrong with it or whatever. And it'll go ahead and insert it into the form, which is a pretty cool feature, I think. If you're inspecting something, you don't have to actually describe it. You can just take a picture of it, and whoever is going to input the data will know what you're talking about. In the last screen, you can see you have some more stuff, additional comments, signatures, inspector signatures. And the last one is send the form to, which will allow you to basically shoot the form to whatever email you want. So I'm going to go ahead and press submit, and it's probably going to tell me that things are required. So I'm going to go back really quick. And whatever fields are red, I'm going to fill them out with some random stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Pick a date. Just to show you how this works. So you do all that, it should let me submit now. And you can see, if I'm doing this on my computer, so it's going to open it on my computer, obviously, but basically, sorry, this distracted me. Basically, this is going to be the PDF form of whatever inspection you were doing, and then you can also open an Excel form of the same thing, and it'll also give you that information in a kind of organized manner. So pretty cool. If you have a back-end system that's hooked up to this, you can make it so that you actually don't have to input any data at all. You can just send it to the back-end system and it'll know what to do with it. Alright, so moving on. How do you customize the form to make it exactly how you want? So it's pretty easy. Actually, before I get into that, if you want to see old saved forms, which I think this is also another really cool feature, instead of having a bunch of paper filling up filing cabinets in the office and stuff, you can just have everything on your phone in one place. So if I click PDF and Excel files, for example, I'll see both the Excel and the PDF file of the inspection I just did. And you can sort through them by format, by name, by date, which I think is the best one, ascending or descending. So it gives you a couple different options to index your reports, which means you won't have to go fumbling around a filing cabinet to go look for them if you ever need them again. Then you have your saved forms here. This basically is saving it in the actual form format. I don't know if that makes sense. So when you make the inspection form, it's going to produce a PDF and Excel file. But say you wanted to go back to the actual form itself, then you would click here in Elevator Saved Forms, and it's going to pull up that stuff, and it'll give you the opportunity to share it or open it again if you want to by pressing edit. So that's the basics of it. Like I said, this is the app though. So say you pull this up and you're like, this is great and all, but there's stuff in the form that I don't really need, or I want to change, whatever it is. You would click edit form on the right here. What it's going to do, it's going to pull it up on the Express Form Editor. And what this is, basically it allows you to change whatever field you want. And you can get really specific with it. Say you wanted to change inspector to, I don't know, banana. Oops, wrong one. It's title. Right? So it's really easy to change what the field does. On some fields, like say for example, if you wanted to put a name, it's going to divide it up in such a way that you have a field for your first name and a field for your last name. So that allows you to, customize it a little bit more. There's a bunch of different fields, as you can see here. You can use gender, for example, will automatically have a radio button for male and female, which you can change, by the way, if, like I said, if you want to change it to apples and strawberries. Apply, and it'll change your options from apple to strawberry. So it lets you do basically, whatever you want, which is really neat, because you can basically, make the form suit your business, which I think is the main goal here. We're trying to eliminate paperwork. We're trying to save some time and this is a great platform to do that. So you can go along and check all these out. If you hover over them, it gives you a little tooltip. It gives you an idea of how to use it and how to apply it to your job. And there's a bunch of different options here. We even have stuff for like file upload. So if you want to send another file within the form to whatever email or whoever you're sending it to, that's also an option. You have some organizational tools here, like section break, which will, all this is going to do is going to make a little line for you. So like say you want to divide a certain section of the form. Oh, helpful hint, you can actually use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move around stuff. I find it a little bit easier if you're trying to put stuff like at the bottom of the list, because yeah, it scrolls really fast. So if you just want to move, like select it and move that specific thing, the arrow keys make it a little bit easier to navigate. I won't go over all these fields. A lot of them are self-explanatory, and really the design is made in such a way that, for example, like if you put date and time, it looks normal, but what this is actually going to do is it's going to open up like a little calendar for you to click into, and then you can click the date itself. So little intricacies there. You can even do stuff like use the current time as the default. So if you click that, it's always going to grab whatever time it is and input it into the form. Some other cool stuff you can do with this specific field, though, you can actually hide it as well. So what that's going to do is it's going to grab the current time. Say you had an inspector that went out to go check out, an elevator or whatever. It's going to grab the current time from whenever he was inspecting it, but it's not going to tell him that it was grabbing the time. So it's useful to see if your employees are, goofing around or whatever. You can see exactly what time they submitted the form, and they can't edit that number. So it's really useful for that aspect. Again, normally you would swipe to turn the pages, but on the editor itself, you're going to go up here and click the tabs, and this is how you navigate from page to page. So you can see we have our other fields here. These are the picture fields that I was telling you about that you can insert or upload a file or take a new picture. And then the last page has your signatures, your where am I going to send this form to, that type of stuff. At the very end, you're going to have your submit button and your reset button. These are also, even these are customizable, so if you want to change submit to like pineapples, you can do that, no problem. Some people like to change this from reset to clear. Maybe it's a little bit clearer for you. But really, you can do whatever you want. That's the point. So the idea is to pull it up and mess around with it and see what works for you. And the good part is, normally when you're making an app, it would take months of development, take a bunch of money, and you would have to rely on coders and programmers to do all the work for you. Doing it like this, though, you have the advantage. You can decide what's going to work and what's not going to work, and you can change it on the fly. It's not a big deal at all. Alright, so once you're done messing around with the form, like I said, there's a bunch of different options here, so the best thing to do is just play with it. Once you're done with that, you want to exit to App Builder, and you're going to save all changes made, of course. Alright, and then this is the step I think a lot of people get lost on, so I'm going to pull up this little tool that I like to use called Reflector. What Reflector does is it's going to mimic, it's going to show you what I'm doing on my phone, which is currently off. Let's turn this on. It's going to show you what I'm doing on my phone so that I can show you exactly how to pull this up on your phone, because I believe this is a little bit confusing for a lot of people. So the idea is you're going to download the Snappy Preview app. What that is it's going to be our prototype mechanism. So every time you make something on our editor, I might not be able to do the reflector for you guys. I think I don't have a, yeah, trial expired. Nice. All right, well, I'll do my best to explain it. It's not that hard. So what you're going to do is you can email the links to yourself if you want, but what I like to do better is just go on your phone, go to whatever app store you use, Play Store, iTunes Store. I use Android, so you can just type in, you can even just type this into Google, Snappy Preview app. We're going to do Play Store. All right, you can see it's already purple for me because I already clicked it. before. So you're going to download this app right here. And what this does is it allows you to log in with your credentials, and you'll actually see the elevator app that you just made on your device. So you'll be able to see this exact screen. You'll have this little hamburger menu on the side, all that stuff. So it's useful for prototyping. A lot of people tend to use the templates, but it's just much more efficient to use the Snappy Preview app. So pretty self-explanatory. You would just log into it with the same credentials that you use to log into this guy, and then it's going to come up with a list of different apps that you've made on your account, which will look a little something like this list. Pretty sure I have a bunch on my account, so it'll show you. See, like, it would show a lot of these things that I have here. You would click into one, and it'll pull up the exact app that you were just working on. And that's pretty much it. Using that method, you can go back and change things that you want to, move things around. But I think the most important part is that you're making everything more efficient for yourself. Instead of having to carry around all these papers when you go do inspections, you literally just need your phone. And it has everything indexed in there for you, so if you have multiple forms that you work with, you can put multiple forms in there. It's not a big deal. You would just press new form. If you have a form that's already a PDF, say you've been working with this form for years and you don't want to have to recreate it, you can actually just upload a PDF form. Just drag and drop it into this little box right here and it will pull it up. Let me see if I have an example. Oh, I do. Cool. So again, this is an example. Personally, I like the form editor more because the PDF one, oh cool, this is the one I was using before. The PDF one is very limited, as you can see. There's only, what is this, 6 options that you can use, which for the most part should cover most things, but the form editor is going to allow you to do a little bit more. So say you did want to do a PDF though. This would be your PDF, so you have like a form or whatever that had information, and you want to add fields to this form. So the way you would do that is you would just drag and drop the field. You make it whatever size you want. Say for like male, female, those are options. So we can just put radio buttons there. And then say, for the drop down, you can just put that there. For drop down, you can actually change the options of everything over here. So if you wanted to make things into like, I'm running out of fruit. We'll say blueberries, raspberries. You just press apply and it'll show you, well, it won't show me here, but if we exit back out to the app builder, you'll see that I have a new form now. And that's going to be the one that we just put together, the PDF. Okay, it's going to tell you that every time. So, and if you click HTML5 up here, it's actually going to show you exactly what it would look like if you had it on your phone. So it's also a good tool to test things out. I still recommend you do it on your phone though, just to make sure, because you'll see, actually I don't even know if this will work with the PDF, but yeah, didn't think so. So some things aren't going to work with HTML5, the preview HTML5. So the best thing to do is just test it on your phone. It's usually the better option. Alright, well, that's basically everything. Like I said, you can always use the template, or if you want to make something from scratch too, it's very doable. Say like, I'll just show you this real quick. So like say I don't want any of this. Say I wanted to start from scratch. I don't even want a log out button. I don't want to have to log into my app when I need one tab when I do my thing. So you would just click new widget here, and very similar to when you were looking for the app, all you would have to type in is elevator, and this is automatically going to find widgets that are associated with elevators. So you could pull up that same form that we were messing with before if you need to have like a base. The manager, what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to save, pull up forms that you've previously saved. So it looks very similar to the one we were just working with. I press add widget. And of course there's a little bit of information there that'll show you. And you can see it's the exact same thing I was just working with. So it's very doable if you want to make it from scratch. The widgets make everything a lot easier for you. You just pick and choose. Like say, for example, I do want a login screen now. Just type in login, enter. It's going to give you some options for logins. Go with whatever you want. I mean, if you want to have your logo on the screen, click those. If you want to have a little description on there as well, or if you just want a background image, there's a couple different options. We'll go with the basic login one for now, though. Actually, let's do the login with company logo. And you can see now I have a login screen. So now no one will be able to see this part of the app without logging in first. It's a pretty neat little trick. You can also change, say you wanted to change this image to something else. I don't have a picture right here of our logo. Maybe? Sure, we'll use this guy. I think this is going to be way too small, but it's okay. It's just to show you. So by changing the image right here, you can see that if I hover over it, it'll pull it up. By changing that image right there and pressing OK, I'll have my image here. This is just showing up small because I put something that's way too big, but you get the point. You can make your logo into whatever you want here, and it'll look pretty legit. I mean, it'll look like you made the app yourself. And then by clicking on the hamburger menu on the side, you can access all your other stuff. Some other things you can do, you can also mess with the style. So this will help for like branding the app to make it look like your business. Say your colors are, for us for example, we're orange, and I want to make everything look orange. And gray goes good with orange. I want black letters, that's what this is. And you know, I want these buttons to be orange too. You can go here and click buttons, orange, everything's orange. So really useful if you want to brand the app to look like your business. Say you're developing an app for the public and you're trying to promote your business, this would be a great way to do it because it's very cost effective. And I think that's the last thing I'm going to go over today is how cost effective this is for your business. So I shoot over to pricing. We have a couple different options here. Most people, don't worry about the partner thing. Don't worry. Well, if you want to, you can ask us to customize the app for you. But a lot of people are concerned with these two right here. So what is a private app and what is a public app? A private app is basically something that you're going to use within your business. So not something that is going to be available to the average person just walking down the street. They're going to have to be a part of your company in order to see this. The way this works is, since it's a private app, it's going to be on a per user basis. So if you have 6 employees that you need this app on their phone, you would get 6 users, and that would cost you $30 a month. So only $30 a month, and you can reduce all the paperwork you have to a single phone, which I think is really cool. You don't have to worry about filing anymore because everything's going to be indexed. You don't have to worry about data entry anymore because it's already going to be in the computer when you send the form. So there's a lot of benefits for a relatively cheap solution. A public app is the same thing, but you're going to put the app on the App Store. So say like you found the app on iOS or Android, the Play Store. That's what this is. So for a public app, obviously if we can't charge you per user because if 100 people are using your app, which is likely if it's public, you would be paying a lot of money, $500. So what we do is for $50 a month, that's unlimited users. You don't have to worry anymore about the per user thing. So a quick way to remember it, private app for your business, per user, so all your coworkers are going to have a single license for the app, and it's $5 a month. Public app, unlimited users, but it's going to go on the public app store where anybody can see it, anybody can use it. So if you have like an elevator inspection business, for example, probably not what you want to do. All right, I think that's it. I actually don't see any questions, so I'm going to cut this short. If you have any questions, though, you can always contact support@snappy.com, or you can also contact sales. They're usually pretty good about telling you what's possible with our platform and what's not. So the way you get there is just services, order a custom app, punch in your information, and right here you're going to try to divulge as much information as you can about your app, how you want it to work, what you want it to look like, all that stuff, and sales will get back to you. You can even upload a picture if you want to. Sales will get back to you with what's possible and what's not. That's all I got for today. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Thank you for hanging out with me for the webinar and letting me show you about elevator inspection stuff. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can contact support@Snappy or sales@Snappy. And I think that's it. Have a nice day.